What happens when a team comes within inches of ultimate glory, but realizes that the real leap toward a championship might come from the quiet moves of the offseason? Kyle Tucker dominates the headlines. A Bo Bichette extension is a dream of the fan base. But today, Blue Jays Nation, we're talking about the 5 under-the-radar signings that could redefine the future of the Toronto Blue Jays in 2026. Starting with a name many overlook, but who could completely reshape the bullpen, Eric Fedde. And that changes everything for assembling our rotation and the depth that carried this team to the brink of the World Series. Hello, Blue Jays Nation. Welcome to Jays Nation News, your place for the latest updates on the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm the die-hard fan who bleeds blue and white, and I'm ready to show you why these modest signings can be just as important as any superstar. Stay alert, because what I'm about to reveal may flip upside down every plan you thought the front office had for this offseason. Hit the like button, drop your hottest take in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss any detail of the strategic rebuild toward the top. Signing number 1, Eric Fedde. Eric Fedde returns to the radar at a moment when the Jays are looking for exactly this type of piece. Reliable, flexible, and experienced both in the rotation and in the bullpen. But before we look coldly at the numbers, imagine the deja vu feeling across Jay Nation, an underestimated pitcher who quietly becomes vital, exactly like Eric Lauer did in 2025, coming from a minor league deal to become one of the anchors of the staff. Toronto has lived this movie before, which is why Fedde is a natural candidate to repeat the story. Let me paint this picture. In 2024, pitching for the White Sox, Fedde posted a 3.18 ERA in 21 starts. The number's a solid middle-rotation arm. After being traded to the Cardinals, it dipped to 3.72, still competitive. In 2025, yes, his overall performance collapsed, but everything changes when you look at his time with the Brewers. A 3.94 ERA as a reliever over 16 innings. A small sample? Of course. But it's exactly the type of adjustment Pete Walker turns into gold. And this is where everything changes. If Fedde embraces a swingman role, that hybrid between long reliever and spot starter, the Jays gain crucial depth in a year when rotation may once again face turbulence. Optimistic scenario. Walker brings out his best version, and Fedde becomes a steady piece in long relief with an ERA under 4. Cautious scenario. Inconsistency continues, but he still provides important innings without hurting the team. Front office view. Low cost, high potential return, and versatility that helps immediately. If you think Fedde can be the Jays' next low-key steal, go ahead and hit the like button now. Signing number 2, Chris Stratton. Have you ever taken a deep breath before watching a bullpen game? Then you know relievers are a complete wild card, and no one embodies that roller coaster better than Chris Stratton. Jay Nation knows his profile well. Experienced veterans who, under Pete Walker, find new life and start dominating again. Remember how many times this has happened? Picture the scene. Between 2020 and 2023, Stratton was one of the most reliable relievers in MLB. A 3.91 ERA, a 21-7 record, nearly 9.5 K/9. Then came the steep decline with the Royals and Dodgers, but that also places him squarely in the type of market where Toronto loves to hunt for value. And what came next nobody expected. Stratton now reaches the point in his career where a change of scenery could mean the difference between retirement and rebirth. The Jays have done this dozens of times, resurrecting the careers of pitchers who arrive without credibility. Deep analysis. His arsenal still generates swing and miss. The problem has been execution and command. With mechanical adjustments, there is real room for recovery. Optimistic scenario. ERA under 4.30 as a middle reliever. Cautious scenario, walk rate remains an issue, limiting him to low-leverage innings. Front office view. Minimal cost, moderate upside, and mentorship for younger arms. If you believe in the Walker effect, drop a comment below. Signing number 3, Chris Taylor. Now we move into the part of the roster that always sparks debate: versatility. Chris Taylor was once the glue of the Dodgers, one of the most valuable utility players in MLB. In Toronto, this type of player can provide instant depth, especially in a 2026 season that may bring infield changes depending on Bo Bichette's situation. Imagine the scenario. Between 2017 and 2021, Taylor posted 14.5 WAR and .804 OPS and was essential in 2 championship runs. But the last 2 years were a nightmare. Injuries, a fractured hand, complete loss of rhythm. And this is where everything changes. Toronto offers something few teams can: a real opportunity for rebirth without immediate pressure. If Taylor accepts a minor league deal, he could be exactly the type of project that explodes during spring training. Deep analysis, solid defense at multiple positions, a proven track record of clutch postseason hitting, a perfect profile for the Whit Merrifield role. Optimistic scenario. The 2023 version of Taylor returns, producing an OPS near .720 as a super utility. Cautious scenario. Physical limitations restrict him to an emergency bench role. Front office view. Low risk, huge tactical value if Bichette doesn't re-sign. Do you think Taylor deserved that chance? Let me know in the comments. Signing number 4, Carlos Santana. If there's a veteran who can still bring value to the lineup in the infield, that name is Carlos Santana. Jays Nation knows him well. How many times has this man torched Toronto over his career? Now think about the delicious irony of him wearing blue and white. The context is simple. The Jays like to have a backup 1B/DH with power. Santana offers that, with bonuses, a Gold Glove in 2024, 335 career home runs, and a plate discipline profile that never really ages. Let me take you to the scenario. Tight games, 8th inning, runner on second. Santana at the plate brings a calm to someone who's seen it all. And what came next nobody expected. Despite the drop in production in 2025, his defense remained solid, and his presence in the clubhouse can be a quiet difference maker. Optimistic scenario. Santana becomes a deep bench bat and a mentor for the younger players. Cautious scenario. Limited production, but still useful in specific matchups. Front office view. A safe, low-cost signing with veteran upside. If you believe Santana still has gas left in the tank, drop a comment here. Signing number 5, Génesis Cabrera. Finally, we arrive at the name most familiar to the fan base, Génesis Cabrera. If Fedde is a potential hidden gem and Stratton the rehab project, Cabrera is a returning familiar face who has already proven he works in a Jays uniform. Think about it, 98 appearances for the Jays, a 3.34 ERA, almost a full run below his career mark. Pete Walker knows exactly how to get the most out of him, and this is where everything changes. Bringing him back means regaining a reliable, steady lefty who is already integrated into the defensive system and our bullpen. It's not glamorous. It's not headline stuff. It's pure value. Optimistic scenario. Cabrera returns with an ERA around 3.20 as a modern lefty specialist. Cautious scenario. A slight step back, but still functional in a matchup role. Front office view. A perfect fit at controlled cost and with no adaptation risk. If you think Cabrera deserves another run in Toronto, hit the like button. Blue Jays Nation, look at everything we just broken down. While the spotlight shines on stars like Kyle Tucker and the Bo Bichette extension saga, it's moves like Fedde, Stratton, Taylor, Santana, and Cabrera that truly build the backbone of a contender. These names complement the core, hold the season together when injuries hit, and sometimes they're the ones who win games in October. The big question now is simple but powerful. Which of these 5 signings would you make immediately if you were in the front office's shoes? Leave your opinion in the comments, subscribe to Jays Nation News, and hit the notification bell, because this offseason promises even more twists and turns, and we're going to follow every step. Let's go Blue Jays!